Hi, it's Nikki, and welcome to another episode of Travel Unplugged. Today, we are going to go 60 feet under street level to explore the underground cemetery here in Paris.
She travels the world, all the seven seas, throwing caution to the wind. She discovers, explores, she walks through the doors of what her heart and mind has been. What's your name, chick? London loves you. International travel chick. Paris, Vegas, and Dubai too. International travel chick. Morocco knows your name. International travel chick. Seychelles and of course Spain. London loves you. International travel chick. Paris, Vegas, and Dubai too. International travel chick. Morocco knows your name. International travel chick. Seychelles and of course Spain. International travel chick.
The Catacombs house the bones of 6 million Parisians. It's technically called an ossuary, which is basically a place where you put the bones of people. So back in the day, Paris used to have a main cemetery called the Cemetery of Innocents, or Saint Innocent. And for 10 centuries, they used this cemetery to bury their dead. But after plague, war, famine, it became very overrun with bodies. And what started out as, I'm sure, a pretty nice cemetery ended up just being a dumping ground for bodies. So they were just throwing bodies in and then throwing some dirt on top of them. And then the smell was atrocious. The locals were like, what the hell is this? So back in 1785, I think November, the city said, we're going to shut it down. Now, of course, people didn't listen. They were like, we're not shutting this down. I'm going to continue to put my dead in here illegally. So I know that if I was living back in 1785 here in Paris and I saw, Bobby try to cart his dead into the cemetery that was stinking, I'd have been like, I got you, Bobby. Let's go on over here to the police. But anyway, so in November of 1785, the city said, you can't bury your dead anymore here. And then what they decided to do was use the unused lime quarries that were under street level, 60 feet, and move the bones from the Cemetery of Innocents down there. So in April of 1786, for the next 2 years, they did a nightly march from the Cemetery of Innocents with the bones in a covered wagon. They had a black cloth over it. The priest would pray over the bones and then do a walk from the route from the Cemetery of Innocents down to what is now the Catacombs. What they ended up doing was just throwing the bones in there. And they have, when we go down and you'll see, it's about, the bones are piled about 5 feet high and 80 feet deep. It's very, very cool. But when they first started, they just were dumping bones left and right. We said, okay, dump the bones in there. And then someone a few years later said, how about we really make this into like a mausoleum? So they started to put some order to the bones and had the femurs and the tibias and the skulls, and made it to be pretty picturesque. They also used the headstones and some of the tombs from the Cemetery of Innocents as also decorations that are down in the catacombs. I'd say the one thing that I would have had a problem with is you just kind of mixing up the bones. So you're not quite sure who goes with who. And it'd be my luck, I'd be mixed up with Becky, who I can't stand, or Leroy, who, cheated on me or something like that. And then I have his femur on my tibia for the rest of my life. And, I'm not feeling that. But that's just me. Anyways, the catacombs are really cool. It is cold, so make sure that you bring a coat. It is a lot of stairs. It's about 130 stairs to go down into the catacombs. It is cold, so make sure that you take a jacket or a sweater. And you cannot steal any of the bones or skulls. They do check your bags when you leave. They've had people try to steal bones and things like that before. Back in 2004, there was actually an underground movie theater, illegal, but they were showing all these kind of flicks about, horror flicks, thrillers, that type of thing. They had even a restaurant down there. I don't know how they did it. They were never really able to find out who was behind it, how they were able to get the electricity kind of set up with it. But how cool is that? I wish I had been able to see it because I definitely would have done that. So let's go check out the catacombs. So the next time you come to Paris, think about adding the catacombs to your list of attractions. You want to make sure that you go after 3 p.m. Tuesday through Friday, as it won't be as crowded as it is on the weekends. So make sure you plan accordingly because the line gets really, really long. Thank you so much for watching this travel episode of the Catacombs with Travel Unplugged. See you next week on Wednesday. And remember to travel safe and travel unplugged. Bye now.